So, self compassion is one of the most important tools in lowering the threat system's alarm. So, in chronic pain, the nervous system is so overloaded and overactive and stuck in that threat system mode. And we find that people with chronic pain often have a lot going on. There's a lot that's happening, behind the scenes, both in terms of stress and pain and its impact on your life. And so, there may be things like, just having multiple responsibilities that you're juggling, or having really tough things in your life like grief or trauma, or having a lot of anxiety or perfectionism, or having tough relationships or good relationships that just have kind of normal human conflict that over time can just, be a lot of pressure on us, right? Or isolation or loneliness or caregiving. There's a lot that can actually place a lot of pressure on your nervous system. And then, there can be a lot of pressure, like social pressure, cultural pressure to complete tasks. And that can be really hard when you're in pain. And you can feel a lot of pressure to be better mentally or physically. So, being overwhelmed adds to that pressure on your nervous system and feeds into the sense that something is wrong. So, as a result, the pain grows stronger and it interferes more in your life. And compassion, particularly self compassion, can help take some of that pressure off so the pain can ease and you can live a fuller life again. So, you may not be able to reduce all of the external pressures on your life, but you can learn to switch from a life spent on edge, kind of pushing through your needs all the time, to a life spent with a calmer sense of attunement to what you need and care about. So, for example, if you look at our threat cycle, say you have the fear that you have too many responsibilities to be in pain right now, like you really just can't afford to be in pain. I think those of us who have experienced chronic pain know that this is a pretty common experience, is that you just like pain is not convenient. But instead of kind of like becoming more afraid of the pain, you can again, let your threat system be heard, allow it to be heard fully, and validate yourself. Say, I understand why I'm afraid. I have a lot on my plate. And by recognizing that, you can then move into activating the calm system and asking, how can I be patient with myself? How could I slow down here? Can I let myself be imperfect? Can I take even a small amount of pressure off myself? It can be helpful to ask, like, what would I tell somebody else in this situation? Because often we are a lot kinder and more patient to others than we are to ourselves. And then if pain comes on, as it inevitably does, you just keep practicing that compassion and care, and eventually your nervous system will feel safer over time and pain and tension will reduce. And there's research to back this up. So, for example, research has shown that increasing self compassion can lower pain intensity for patients with chronic pain and also change your brain's response to pain. So, in one study, they showed a self compassion intervention both reduced pain intensity and also activation in the part of the brain that makes the pain seem salient, and changed activation in the area responsible for emotion regulation. So, self compassion can actually help you calm your nervous system, lower your fear, and lower your pain.